Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central. And here's your host, Bob Hickey.
And welcome to another fantastic episode of Foxborough Central. I am Bob Hickey, your host, and I want to thank you for taking the time to join me and my guest as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxborough truly the gem of Norfolk County. Now, every once in a while we meet people in our path of life that maybe say, wow, that's really interesting, or I didn't know. I think tonight is going to be one of those opportunities for us to meet VLAD ZACHARY. VLAD is from Mansfield by way of Bulgaria.
Yes. Bob, thank you for having me. Nice to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here, and it's great to meet you because I understand that you are an author and that you have your first book has been published. It's called The Excellence Habit.
That's correct, yes, a couple years ago. And it went on to become an Amazon bestseller.
Really?
Next Generation in the Book Awards declared it the best motivational book of 2016. So a lot of surprising developments from this. Yep.
Well, that's amazing. So it's a motivational book, and it's been out for a couple of years, but people can go now to Amazon.com, and they can also go to your website. And I'm going to just go through this real quickly at the beginning. It's VLADZACHARY.com. That's VLADZACHARY.com. And it's a motivation book, you say?
Thank you. Yes, it came out as a motivational book. I was thinking it's going to be more like a career development, self-help kind of project, and it turned out that when I was approached by Next Generation in the Book Awards, they placed it in the category motivational books, and then it won the award. I had to go to Chicago.
Really?
I did TV interviews there as well.
Fantastic. So several lines of questioning, but I'm going to just take the safe one to begin with, and we'll see where we branch off to as I throw my pen on the floor. See, you got me all excited. I'm looking forward to this. So how do you write a book that ends up being something other than what you think it's going to be?
Oh, I think most writers do this. Most writers, I think this is the process. I mean, most of the time, once you get into the project, you never know what is going to be at the end. I mean, it's like having a baby. You never know what is going to come out. I don't know if it's an example.
Well, okay, yes, but you're pretty sure that you've got two choices coming out.
Right. Yeah, no, the thing is, when I set out to put this together, I was keeping notes because I had some kind of like midlife career crisis, and just didn't want to end up in another dead-end job, and I didn't feel like I know where I need to go so that I can, put myself on a road to success. And this whole concept of success in general was like, what is all about? What is success all about? And at some point I felt that, if I, instead of looking through the libraries and, scanning Amazon for the kind of book that I wanted to read, I started putting down notes. Okay, I wanted to be a little bit about this, maybe a little bit about that. And at some point I figured, like, I have a lot of information. Maybe I can put a PDF together. I can put some kind of document, a brochure that could help other people. Maybe that would be my career path, next step.
Interesting. Now, you don't know this about me. I used to write a column for the local paper, and I was a political op-ed columnist. And many times, the column that I would write would be completely different than what I sat down and thought I was going to write. But I was just doing 1,200 words on current events. Writing a book about career development that becomes motivational, that seems like a pretty intense kettle of fish there.
It is in a way. I mean, it takes a life of its own. Once you start it and you set some kind of goals, when I started, I thought, it's going to be a PDF file, but at least I want it to be a good PDF file, something that I would be proud to put my name down on. And it's something that people, after they read it, they would say, yeah, that's good. You should read this, or not just read it like, okay.
So that's really it. So you talk about midlife crisis now. In not knowing you, but I'm going to ask some questions.
Yes.
You were from Bulgaria.
Yes.
And you were there during the revolution, and you had mentioned before we went on the air that you used to sit in this seat. So your career seems as though it's not been, you didn't just, when you're 16, say, I know what I want to be when I grow up.
Right, no, I'm not that person.
You're not that person.
I still don't know for sure.
And right now you're working web development for a major pharmaceutical chain?
That's correct, yes.
And do you like doing that?
I do.
Good.
I enjoy a lot of smart people there, and it's in terms of job satisfaction, I'm right there where I need to be. So it's a good
That's
feeling.
great.
It hasn't always been, but career-wise, I'm happy.
So you read your own book.
Many times. I rewrote it 3 times.
So, okay, we're here, of course, talking with Vlad Zachary, who's an author. He has written The Excellence Habit. Now, the title must mean something, so let's dig in. What does the title mean?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the whole concept of success. Like when you're in a rut, you're stuck, and you're trying to get to success. And I figured at some point, if you are to get success the good old-fashioned way, it has to be coupled with excellence. It kind of has to have an underlying idea, underlying principles that bring you there, because otherwise it's just luck, being in the right place at the right time. And
I'm not a big believer in luck.
Oh, you can believe or not, but essentially it doesn't happen all the time. Right. So when you're looking for a consistent kind of predictable career success or career development, then this is kind of one of the main things that I think people can look at, and that's.
So it's a lot more in depth than I would say inspiration and perspiration, and that's what breeds success. This is more of a motivational, and maybe I'm not understanding, and maybe the excellence habit is.
Well, it's the main idea behind the book. So
yep.
It's also marketing. It's also how I chose to deliver these ideas. It's not about delivering the science or psychology behind it, but delivering the stories in my voice, and finding these stories that are going to resonate with the main idea, the main topic. So it is what is an excellence habit. This is how you do it, and you don't do it for success. You do it for the sake of it, because this is kind of success in and of itself. If you can keep this thing up, you may not always be happy. You may not always hit your goals. But the premise of the whole concept of the excellence habit is this is why you do it, what you do it for.
And that's I suppose something that's easily said, but bears repeating in many different ways, because the whole point of doing something is to take pride in whatever it is that you're doing. And it doesn't matter what we're doing. If it's cleaning the bathroom in between shows, or making sure that we give the best interview as we're doing this. It's all about coming prepared to succeed. And right. I love it when people are able to put that into words. I'm not that person. I wish I could. I love reading it, but I'm not that good at writing it. So I want to remind everybody who wants to read it, they can read Vlad Zachary's book. It's your first book, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Is it going to be your last book?
I hope not.
Okay.
I'm working on a second one, which is a fiction. So
and you said it was award-winning.
Yes, actually it won 4 different awards.
Fantastic.
Eric Hoffer Award, Reader's Digest favorite, Next Generation Indie Book Awards was best motivational. Yeah, very surprising. Well, maybe not so, but it's a pleasant surprise and one well earned, I'm sure. The Excellence Habit is available at Amazon.com, or you can get it through Mr. Zachary's website at VladZachary.com. You'll notice that I don't put the www before that anymore, because we're good that way. So when I read a book like this, maybe a selling point would be, what is it that you want me to take away after I finish reading this book? If I have one thing that you successfully drilled into my head, what would that be? One thing.
One thing.
Yeah.
Or 20 things, whichever you find easier to get at.
It's a good question. I think the main thing is there are certain principles about excellence. We have different idea about this and that, success, excellence. We define it any way we choose, and that's okay.
The easiest way to measure is through money.
Yes.
But that's not always the best measure.
Right, yes. Social status, money, good family, health, the different measures. And they're usually outside, external kind of measures. You measure yourself in society compared to other people. But excellence is kind of comparing yourself to yourself, okay, how you get better. And if there is one main idea, and I haven't explicitly spelled it out, but now that you're asking this question, I think that's a very, very good way to talk about it. It's how do you live in a way that you improve yourself. You improve yourself, and by this you improve, your success, your status, your money, your everything. And I think that's kind of what matters.
Well, and I would like to share that I agree, that I think that is what matters, because every day should be a new opportunity to be better at whatever it is that we want to be better at, even if it's just being a better person. So this Excellence Habit seems like a good book to read. It's something we should all pick up. And we can do it by going to Amazon.com or to www.vladzachary.com. You want to give us a 2-minute resume? How did you manage to get here from Bulgaria? Why Mansfield? I mean, we love this area, and the greater Foxborough region is a beautiful place to be, but how did you end up in our world?
Well, I think there were no places at that point in time in Foxborough, so that's how I ended up in Mansfield.
That goes to a whole other conversation about affordable housing stock and that sort of thing. So we'll do that on another program. But so this area is someplace that attracted you. How did you end up in the area?
Actually, I came to this area, New England in general, for study. I did a Babson MBA 20 years ago. Man, 20 years ago.
We are blessed in this area with so many higher education facilities. It's amazing. You go to other parts of the country in America, and I think we just take for granted here in New England and in Massachusetts in particular what a wonderful selection and choice opportunity we have here. So it's great that you made it here.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. And it was a great experience. It was the best way to basically start my life in America. I had one from the Green Card Lottery, government program for diversification of the immigration.
Sure.
And so the first thing that I did was basically join the Babson MBA program, which was crazy. I mean, it's crazy for a lot of Americans. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of excitement, it's a lot of sleepless nights, and at the end of the day, it's a lot of value too. So, go Babson.
Go Babson. Well, I love talking about many things, but I really want to focus on the book because the book itself, given that you're a first-time author, you won so many awards with it, you keep saying it was surprising. I don't know whether you're humble bragging or if it was truly, truly surprising, because to me, there are so many talented people out there who are writing and who want to express themselves and share, and yet your book won awards. So tell us a little bit about why and then how that really felt.
Well, the process of writing a book, and especially the first time, is filled with a lot of doubt and a lot of sleepless nights and struggles. And like I said, I mean, it was like a midlife career crisis. So staying at home, looking at the screen all the time, and then reading what you wrote, and like, really? This is the best you got? And you're hoping to miss something. And then you rewrite, and then once you've completed something that you are actually daring to give to somebody, and the editor gives it back, and every single page.
That takes a lot of courage. It really does. Because you're putting yourself out there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but
I mean, do people want to read what I write? Does what I say matter? Does it mean something? Does it mean something to somebody other than just me? And those are all the things that kind of have to go into it. And then you write this, which is an award-winning book. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. No, exactly. And as you say, I mean, it takes a lot, but it's also very depressing because you doubt yourself much more than you think. And at the point when an editor starts to confirm your doubts, and you've rewritten the book 3 times already, and it's a lot of work. It's just, you don't realize at the beginning, like I set out and it's going to be 3 months, and it was more than 9.
Was it really?
And it's...
Well, clearly it was 9 months worth of good effort. So once more, we're here with Vlad Zachary, and we're running out of time. I'm going to give you the last word, of course, but while we do, we're going to remind everybody to pick up your copy of The Excellence Habit. It is a couple years old. It's award-winning, and it is a motivational book. It's intended as career advice, but it's turned into so much more. You would probably say to yourself, what could I get my friend who has everything to put under the holiday tree? And of course, this book would be the one. So you can pick it up at Amazon.com, or you can go to www.vladzachary.com and get a copy for yourself, get one for your parents, and get one for your boss, who is also trying to be excellent every day, I'm sure. And maybe this book will put you and the company over the edge. What do you think?
Thank you. No, this is awesome, and I love being here. And I appreciate the good words.
Well, we appreciate your being here, Vlad. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and we can't wait to read The Excellence Habit and see what else comes down out of your keyboard.
Yep.
That would be a laptop. All right, excellent. And thank you so much for joining us here on Foxborough Cable Access. FCA TV is built on the backs of her volunteers. If you'd like to be part of our family out here, why not stop by our offices at 28 Central Street here in Foxborough, or call us at 508-543-4757. Mark Nash is at the front desk. She'll be happy to share with you all the volunteer opportunities we have. I'd like to thank my volunteers tonight, Adiola, Ola Fikun, and Alex Peary, who are behind the cameras, Mike Stewart, who's supervising, Paul Beck behind the glass, Michael Weber is our executive director, makes sure that all of our cats stay in a row. I'm Bob Hickey, and I thank you for joining us. Of course, if you missed anything on this show, you can always log on to our website, www.fcatv.org, and then you can pick up all the great stuff. We also have a YouTube channel. You should be our friend and follow us. We love having followers, and we love it when you see this program. Until next time, everybody, have a great day, Foxborough.